Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Today we go to New Hampshire at both the Xfinity Series and in the Monster Energy Cup Series. This track we had a good amount of success at in NASCAR Heat 3, so obviously we're looking for the same thing here today in the Cup Series. But in the Xfinity Series, we had subscriber Alberto Garcia in the car starting just towards the midfield in this race as he came through turns 1 and turns 2. And right off the bat, he struggled with the handling quite a bit in this car as it was pretty tight on him. So that would certainly have an effect on his race pace. As this race went on, there you see the four of Ross Chastain getting past him as they made some contact. Chastain still a rival with our team, so obviously he is going to not be very friendly with us. And as he came through, now Alberto Garcia on the final lap as he came through turns 3 and turns 4, falling through the field at this point. Like I said, an extremely tight car he had to deal with, and that made it extremely hard to be able to move his way forwards as he would cross the line to finish down towards 19th here in New Hampshire. So not a great finish, but kind of with the way the car handling was, I was happy with his result as he came through now into qualifying through turns 3 and turns 4. This is one of our best qualifying efforts of the season as we head down this front straightaway, coming through to cross the line, beating our goal with a 28.893, and we get P3 here for the start of New Hampshire. So a great qualifying effort, and we're going to be just behind Denny Hamlin and Eric Almirola as we get ready to go green at New Hampshire.
The Cup Series stops at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the running of the Foxwoods Resort Casino 301. Opened in 1990, this 1-mile oval racetrack is located in Loudon, about 1 hour north of Boston. Another beautiful day in the Northeast. Let's get ready to go racing.
Alright, we're ready to go green here in New Hampshire. Kyle Larson's still angry with us, even though we haven't really touched him. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. engine change after qualifying, so he is starting at the back as we have Denny Hamlin on the pole as we get ready to go green here for the Foxwood Resort and Casino 301 at New Hampshire from P3. So our best qualifying effort of our Cup Series career. Hamlin and Almirola are about to lead the way as the green flag is out. We are underway here today at New Hampshire from P3. We know we have a fast car looking for our second career Cup Series win. We got our first win, obviously, at the Coca-Cola 600 earlier this season. Now as we come through on the exit of turn 2, clear for second place over our teammate of Eric Almirola as we go down this back straightaway on this opening lap. Almirola been showing a lot of speed here in our career mode lately, so we know that maybe he can put a late push in to make the playoffs as we go through turns 3 and turns 4 as we exit the corner heading down this front straightaway. Denny Hamlin leads the way. Hamlin obviously, in my opinion, been the top driver in our career mode so far this season, and he's been one of the top drivers in real life in the Cup Series. So obviously Hamlin a strong contender every race now as we exit turn 2 heading down this back straightaway. And myself and Hamlin, we would drive away from everybody, so it was pretty clear early on that Hamlin and myself were the two fastest cars on the racetrack, because as you see behind us in the mirror, the cars are quite a ways behind, so it's just me and Hamlin driving away from everybody at this point. As Chase Elliott, he had driven himself up into P3 as we came through past the midway point of this first stage. We had actually run down the 11 of Denny Hamlin and started to put some pressure on the 11 cars. We went down towards turns 1 with just 6 laps to go now in this first stage. Not much has happened here in this opening stage now as we go through into turn 3, continuing to put the pressure on Denny Hamlin as we come through turns 3 and on the exit of turn 4. Now as we came through on lap 15 of 17 in the stage, we had the run as we exit turn 2, building up some momentum as we go down this back straightaway. A chance to take the lead here in New Hampshire as we look up the inside of Denny Hamlin as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. And sure enough, we complete a pass here on Denny Hamlin as we exit turn 4, taking the lead now down the front straightaway within the final laps of this first and opening stage as we came through. Now on the final lap of the stage, exiting turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. We need all the playoff points that we can get, and sure enough, we lead the way as we go down towards turn 3, just in front of Denny Hamlin as he tries to put the pressure on, but not quite enough now as we come through turns 3 and on the exit of turns 4, heading down the front straightaway. We're going to come through to win stage 1 here in New Hampshire and pick up another playoff point. So a great start here in New Hampshire. Clearly Hamlin and myself are the two fastest cars on the racetrack in this first stage. No one else really had anything for us, but we would come to the pit lane to take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. I thought about making some type of adjustments, but I decided to keep it where it was because the car was driving really good, as Hamlin will be starting on the outside, so that could be a factor here at the start of the second stage now as we're ready to go green here for stage 2, and we are underway, and stage 2 is officially green. Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. Jr. on that second row behind us, as it is a 16-lap second stage as we go down towards turns 1. Logano goes up the inside of Denny Hamlin, and if Denny Hamlin gets put back in traffic, we should have absolutely no issues at all driving away from the field, because like I said, Hamlin, obviously the other fast car on the track, is going to struggle to get through traffic. New Hampshire is pretty hard to get through traffic, I've found in this game so far, as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, already starting to pull away from the 22 of Joey Logano. I was using a preset setup, so it's not like I was using a custom setup or anything, so I was kind of surprised by how fast the car was with just a preset. I think it was 3 clicks to the right on the preset setup scale, if I remember correctly, as we came through down this back straightaway on the second lap, continuing to pull away. Hamlin struggled to get through traffic as we came through now on lap 7 of 16 in the stage, still driving away from everybody, as Logano is the closest one to us. Hamlin, like I said, falling down the order because he just could not find his way through the traffic as we came through another lap later on lap 8 of 16 now, as we came through turns 3 and turns 4, just managing the pace, but the caution would end up coming out, and it was for Denny Hamlin as he had dropped down out of this race. Actually, I was looking through the order, I didn't see who it was, but it was Denny Hamlin, who was actually in the top 20 still, but he would end up coming to the pit lane and retiring from the race. So the only car that was capable of beating us and running with us is now out here in New Hampshire, so really it's just up to us to make sure we don't blow it now, as we are once again on our way with 5 laps to go now in this second stage as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2, making sure we cover off that inside from Eric Jones. Logano, though, puts on the pressure as we exit turn 2, as he has momentum on the exit of the corner, down the back straightaway, side by side for the lead here with the 22 driver for Penske Racing of Joey Logano, as we go down into turns 3, getting a little bit sideways on the entrance of the corner, and that allows Logano to once again fight back on the exit of the corner. A little bit of contact, beating and banging there with the 22 of Joey Logano as we go down this front straightaway, crossing the line. 4 to go now in this second stage as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Clear for the moment of the 22 of Logano now as we come through. He's sideways though on the exit of turn 2, and now Jones and Logano are going to take us 3 wide for the lead as we go down this back straightaway. Truex and Keselowski ready behind us to pounce if something goes wrong as we go down towards turns 3, but we will retake the lead once again as we come through the center of turns 3 and turns 4. Keselowski making it 3 wide behind us as we exit the corner, heading down this front straightaway, and we would be able to just drive away after we had taken that lead once again as we came through turns 1 and turns 2 now on the final lap of this second stage, heading down this back straightaway. Dominating right now with this pace in the cars. We go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. I will mention the last time we drove this paint scheme, that's when we won at Charlotte. Maybe this paint scheme is a little bit of good luck as we exit turn 4. A little bit sideways, but that doesn't matter. We will come through to get the stage 2 victory and get another playoff point. So really, with Denny Hamlin being out of this race, it was a very easy drive away from these guys. We were just dominating at this point. We would come to the pit lane to take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires once again. So showing some great speed here today in New Hampshire. I was actually getting a little concerned at this point that I was going to find a way to somehow blow this victory away, because if we make no mistakes, this should be an easy win for us here today, as we have JGR right now, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between Jones, Truex, and Kyle Busch. Obviously, the other one, Denny Hamlin, out of the race now. As the 3rd stage, though, is underway here at New Hampshire. Can we hold on for win number 2 here in our Cup Series career as we go down towards turns 1 here with both Truex and Jones putting on some pressure, but I think that we definitely have the speed to get away from them now as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway for this opening lap here of this 3rd and final stage here at New Hampshire. Obviously, we've had success, like I said, at this track back in NASCAR Heat 3. This was the track that we got our first Cup Series win at. We had a 2nd place here as well, so it's always a mix of how we run here, though, at New Hampshire now as we come through with 35 laps to go. Just all about just hitting my marks, just getting into a bit of a rhythm there, as Truex certainly, I think, had the 3rd fastest car maybe, so obviously we saw earlier the 3rd fastest car, though, couldn't really hang with myself and Denny Hamlin. So sure enough, we come through now with over a 2nd lead on Martin Truex Jr. as we exit turn 2 at this point, heading down the back straightaway. He is trying to close in, but he just didn't quite have the pace that he needed as we went down towards the next few corners. So obviously, like I said, really just trying to make sure I didn't make a silly mistake at this point as we came out of turns 4, heading down this front front straightaway on lap 45, hitting just 30 laps to go at this point. Now as we came through on lap 53, 23 laps to go. Now Truex still actually about a similar gap behind me. I wasn't really pulling away anymore as much as we were earlier, so Truex may be finding something, or I'm just losing some pace in the car as this run got a little bit longer, so we went down this back straightaway, certainly dealing with a pretty loose car, but obviously I like when the car is loose, so I was fine with it as we went down towards turns 3 here on this 53rd lap, just hoping that the laps would wind down without any caution flags. Obviously, as we came out of turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, crossing that line, 22 to go at this point, as Truex just really, like I said, very slightly losing time, so it was at least not a worry to myself as we came out of turn 2 at this point. So we come through now a little bit later on, we'd actually opened it back up to 1.6 seconds to Martin Truex Jr., but the caution, of course, would come out, and this would force us a late race restart with a pit stop as well. No green flag pit stop due to this caution, and here I was just really hoping that I didn't make a mistake with the pit strategy. I decided 2 tires, and I think it was 1 can of fuel would be what we did, and thankfully, we made the right call here in New Hampshire as we would get ready once again to go green. Now as the green flag is back out, less than 20 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Kevin Harvick joins us on the front row with 15 laps to go as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. If Kevin Harvick can get in front of Martin Truex Jr., then that could definitely be a good opportunity for us, because like I said, Truex is really the only other fastest car with us right now, and we still have the speed to pull away from him, and it wouldn't really be a problem. Harvick has actually fallen down the order, but we came through with 10 laps to go in this race, and now pulling away once again from Martin Truex Jr. So at this point, it's just please no cautions, and please no mistakes from myself as we go down this back straightaway. About a second lead on Martin Truex Jr. We come to lap 70 of 75. We put on a dominating performance here today in New Hampshire as we exit turn 4. There hasn't been a lot of drama. There was a 3-wide moment for the lead in that second stage, but that was really it. And Denny Hamlin being the other fastest car DNF. So it's just been a dominant performance for us after we took the lead here in New Hampshire. So sure enough, we come to just 2 laps to go now in New Hampshire. Truex not close enough to pounce even if we do make a mistake, unless it's a very significant mistake, of course. So now within about half a lap or so of the white flag at this point, just hoping no cautions. Last time we were leading like this, it was at Charlotte when we were about to take the white flag, and then the caution came out moments before we crossed the line, so certainly that was in the back of my mind at this point as we came through turns 3 and on the exit of turns 4, heading down this front straightaway. The white flag is now in the air, the next flag well in the race as we go down towards turns 1. Now nearly a 2-second lead on Martin Truex Jr. Tyler Reddick, a contender for Rookie of the Year against us, actually finds himself in the 3rd position as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway for the final time. We took the lead late in the first and opening stage from Denny Hamlin, and we have led every lap since then as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Dominating performance as we exit turns 4, and we're going to come through here in New Hampshire to get our 2nd career victory in the Cup Series.
Way to go, driver. That's the win. Nice job.
The car was just so fast in this race. Like I said, I just used the preset setup is all it was, and the car was still really fast. So it certainly was surprising, but obviously I can't complain. That's one of the first races I think I've actually truly dominated in a NASCAR game in a long time. Usually we just kind of find a way to get to sneak our way into a victory late in a race, but certainly wanted to really burn the car down this time. I was trying to see how long we could go here burning the tires as we went down this front straightaway, but obviously 2 wins now. We won stage 1 to obviously the race, so we got 7 playoff points here today at New Hampshire. We picked up 5 or 6 at the Coca-Cola 600, so we should have probably like 13 or so playoff points, I think, if I'm not mistaken now, as this should lead us well into the playoffs. I'm looking at obviously the next tracks we have coming up, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to fare at them. Pocono we can maybe run solid. Michigan we can run alright as well. Watkins Glen I think is the other track I'm looking at maybe being able to pick up a victory, and same as Bristol. Those are the 2 tracks I think that we're going to have a chance to go and win at as we continue to burn the car down. The engine's smoking at this point, and then we end it right there. But so I definitely think we have a chance to get maybe 2 more wins this season. Bristol, the night race at Bristol, I always love that one. I usually do better at the Bristol night race than I do at the Bristol day race, so we led quite a bit at the Bristol day race, so I'm excited to see what we can do there. And obviously, like I said, Watkins Glen as well. As there's my quote after the race: we had a dominant car today. I hope we can carry this momentum towards the playoffs. I'm sure we can. There's some tracks in the playoffs obviously that I'm very excited for, except for Las Vegas. I cannot stand racing at Las Vegas in this game. The AI is so tough there, so that's going to be a concern concern. But so that, as always, though, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Not a lot happened in this one, obviously. We just went and dominated the whole race there. As there you do see the playoff grid on your screen, and the next race is actually Pocono, then Watkins Glen coming up after Pocono. Now as we come through, Eric Almirola 18 points out, Larson 22 out, and Jimmy Johnson 38 points out. So Larson and Almirola really close. Johnson still needs some consistency. Priest still inside that top 30, and that's still the driver that we're watching. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. even finds himself in the playoffs somehow, so Stenhouse doing a very solid job this season so far, but that would do it for this episode. So obviously in the next one we go to the Tricky Triangle, so I'll see you guys in that one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.